guys. Just going to make sure we're streaming on Facebook this time. Sorry, I'm a little late. Oh, NASA.
Yeah, NASA, yes.
What do we call you for short?
Nas.
Nas. Okay, Nas. All right. So welcome to Wholesaling Houses for Newbies. I know I added you just a few days ago. We are a group geared towards newbies within the business, within real estate investing, within the wholesaling market altogether. I myself am a newbie. I started just in January. However, I have almost 20 years of sales experience. So I bring all of that to the business as far as training and giving resources and everything to people within this industry. So I created this group a few months ago, just to have a platform for newbies to come in and be able to answer questions and just to get free training as well as paid training, because I do offer some paid training as well. And just to have a safe space to be able to ask whatever questions you want. Most of the newbie questions are pretty much the same for the most part, but to be able to ask whatever you need to ask and have the resources available. So each and every Wednesday, we have a live training at 7 p.m. Eastern within a group. And just recently, since I have launched the shift that we're going to have, the shift winter retreat, which you are one of our speakers, we're so happy to have you. So since then, I've been inviting guests on just to give people a preview of what they're going to be getting at this winter retreat, March 5th through 8th in Tennessee. The shift, reiretreat.com is where you can register for your tickets. So I just wanted to bring you on, just to introduce you to everyone. Also, just because you are killing it in the game. So just tell us who you are. First of all, you look really young in your Versace robe that you're wearing on tonight. He brought out the Versace for us, y'all. Yeah. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and what the heck is a Doru? I mean, everyone pretty much knows that term from Max Maxwell, of course, which I know is a very good friend of yours. And he was like, nah, this is the original Doru. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? So then that's when I actually started following you and your journey. So go ahead, I'll stop talking.
Thank you for having me on. Right, so born and raised in Jersey. I've been down in Charlotte for 11 years now. I finished undergrad up in like 07, moved to Charlotte in 08. So I'm 36 now and loving Charlotte. Fortunately, black don't crack. So,
Hey, I'm 41 myself, so
Yeah, when you said on your post the other day how you have grown kids, the whole time I'm thinking you like 29, 30. So I'm like, grown kid, she must have started early. But anyway.
Yes, very much. I was a little fast ass. Yes, I started early. Yes, so, my baby was 18 by the time I turned 40. So now I could be looking good, get me a little younger boyfriend and travel the world. Amen. We're calling that into existence. Amen.
So yes, I've been down here 11 years, and basically I did my first flip in 07. I've been involved in real estate for 12 years. Did my first flip in 07, and me and my friend, we ended up losing like $7,000 a piece. We did everything wrong. So after that, sold that, moved down to Charlotte, and I got a job. I've been working in the call center industry. If any of you guys know 08, that was basically the worst economy since the Great Depression. So I graduated college in the worst economy since the Great Depression. So my first job out of college was $10 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. The whole time in college, I'm thinking my first job offer on the low side going to be 40. That's why I went to college, to get some money. So, with that being said, I was in a call center and making $10 an hour, and I bought me a house the traditional way. Realtor, found a house, get a mortgage broker, and I started renting out the house. Because at the time, I'm like, man, I can get this house, and the mortgage is going to be $350. I can probably rent it out for $750. So,
your mic is just a little bit muffled a little bit. So
okay. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, all right. Sorry, lean back too much. So yeah, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I can get these houses $350 mortgage, and with that being said, I can do about 750 rent them out for like 750 a month. So I said, man, this makes sense. So I bought a house and end up renting it out. Got another job 3 months later in another call center, Wachovia call center at the time, which was for those who don't know, Charlotte, North Carolina, we were at that time the number 2 biggest city in banking in the country, behind New York City. Now,
Wow.
yeah, now I believe we're like number 3 is New York, San Francisco, and then Charlotte. So banking is the big industry here. So with that being said, got me a rental, got that job in the Wachovia in the call center. Now I'm making like $12 an hour. So
You moving on up now. You moving up.
no, and I get to brag that I work for Wachovia, right? So
Right.
so $12.50 an hour. And so I worked on the night shift. In 2009, bought me another house, rented out. 2010, I learned about something called creative real estate, particular niche called wholesaling. So I'm like, wait, you can flip houses, no money, no credit. What is this? I'm like, I'm thinking that's me because I tried to get a third house and they told me, oh, my debt to income is too high. You can't get a third property under your name. So I'm thinking my real estate career was over until I learned about creative real estate investing, and I started wholesaling. Did my first wholesale deal in 2011. For those who don't know what wholesaling is, that's basically you find a motivated seller. Let's say a house is worth $100,000. You find a motivated seller, and they're saying, "Hey, look, I'll take $42,000 for my house." And you find a motivated buyer, aka a cash buyer, and you sign a contract with the seller for $42,000. You sell it to this cash buyer over here for $50,000. The house is worth $100,000, and he flips it or does what he does, or rents it out. And you at closing, you pick a check up for $8,000. So I'm thinking like, man, this is a blessing. I can do this. So it took me 8 months to do my first deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now talk about that. I don't want to cut you off. We're gonna get you back. I'm old, so you might have to remind me the where we left off. But a lot of people come into this business and they see Max, they see you guys, they see King Kong, I love, they see Tony the Closer, everybody. And we have these 30-day programs. And so they come in and they want to close in 30 days. And yeah, I saw your eyebrows. And so when it doesn't happen, they're like, oh, this is not for me. Oh, this is just a scam. Oh, the program is trash. The coach is trash and everything. So talk about how it takes time, especially if you don't have a sales background, if you don't have that real estate background, if you know what I mean, like there's a learning curve to this thing. There's levels. That's what y'all young people say, right? There's levels to this. Okay, so there's levels, and it takes time, and it's okay for some people. Yes, you can go out, bang it out in 30 to 60 days, but there's some of us that it's going to take time. So could you talk about that 8-month journey?
Yeah. So I knew it worked. I just knew how to do what I had to do, because at the time I'm like, I think, let me see, like 2011, that was what, 8 years ago? So I'm like 26, 27, whatever the case may be. And I just knew, like, man, look, bro, I ain't trying to, this ain't my life. When I say this ain't my life, meaning with this job, I didn't see myself being 40 at a job and, in the call center. So I'm like, man, there's no way in hell I'm working here for the rest of my life in the call center. Yeah, so I'm like, man, I gotta make it happen. Yeah.
Now, if you do work in a call center, there's nothing wrong with working in a call center. We want to put that disclaimer out. Just as for you and your house, you wasn't going to be in a call center for the rest of your life.
There we go. Like, yeah, I just knew my purpose was bigger than being in a call center. Have you ever worked in a call center, Cory?
Yes. I've managed call centers, yes, and I've worked in them, yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay, cool. For those who haven't, like, if you're in like a high volume call center, which I was multiple times, it's people that, like, this might sound crazy to the people who never worked in there, but it's people who actually fall out due to stress. I seen on multiple occasions, whereas people came back with a doctor's note where their doctor said, "Yo, they can't work there no more." So those things happen in the call center if you're in a high volume one. Some people work the ones where they get like somewhere between 20 and 50 calls a day. I was in one that, 100 plus calls a day.
Yeah, I was going to say 100 something is good a day, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you not only you get burnt out, you could possibly get stressed out.
Yes.
And even a stretcher. So yeah, I didn't want. First of all, I didn't go to college for that. I went to college. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to work with a suit and a briefcase, and nah, bro, they had me with a headset on that joint. So yeah, man. With that being said, I had did that for it took me 8 months. So I used the motivation from my job to say to myself how they treated me, and say to I just to look at the people 10 years my senior and say, yo, nah, not me. And I just kept going. I refused to quit because I knew that being in a job wasn't for me. Yeah, man, it took 8 months, and after the 8 months of it took me, that was basically proof of concept, man. I didn't make much. I only made like 2,000. This back in 2011, and after paying my mentor, it was like 1,300. But I just kept going after that.
What did you say? You had to pay your mentor what?
After paying my mentor, I took home like 1,300. And after that, I just kept it moving, man. Kept it moving, and yeah. Fast forward, the following year, I got fired from my job. And I was making $38,000 a year. That was the most I ever made from a job, 38 grand a year. Now my business, last 2 years, we gross about 1.3. So
1.3 what?
1.3 million. So that's where we're at these days.
And what the heck is a Doru? What? How? Where'd that come from?
All right, so a Doru, man. I started the channel back in 2012 because it was a bunch of bullshit on YouTube at the time, man. And so I just like, man, I actually took the name from somebody else who's not even in the business no more. I mean, we talked about it, and we laughed about it, and but yeah, a Doru is somebody who do the business, and I'm not a guru. I'm a Doru because I do the business. I'm out there in the business. You come to Charlotte, I can show you live projects that I got going on. So, yeah, I mean, just not watered down, man, just really doing it, because at that time, bro, it was a bunch of watered down shit. Still is on social media. You got guys claiming they're doing all these deals a month, and then the people work for them is like, nah, that ain't true. So, it's a lot of fronting going on, man. It's only getting worse as social media gets bigger. So, yeah, but a Doru is somebody who actually do this business.
Okay, so after you make your first deal, and at this point you realize that it's possible, so you go from making 2,000 to 1.3 mil.
Yeah,
that's over a time span, of course. So to the newbie starting out, what would you say would be, because I know things have changed from 8-9 years ago to now 2019. So what are some of the daily apps and softwares, and what's a day like in the life of the Doru? What are some of your procedures, some of your processes? There are people that are listening right now that have a problem with just organizing themselves and just prioritizing, what's important, what's not important, and so forth and so on. So I know that your business is scaled at a much larger scale than, someone just starting out, but I know you also have a coaching program as well. So for those that come into your program, what are some of the first steps that you take them through?
All right, let me correct. The don't have a coach. So no coaching program. So yeah, reach out. Hey, I need a coach or mentor. I'm not the guy. So
yes, so don't be blowing his inbox up, y'all. I'm sorry. You do have a program that you sell. You have
it's coming soon.
Okay.
Okay. So with that being said, okay, so a day in the life, I got 2 people working for me. I have an acquisition manager and I have a virtual assistant that does a lot of callback and follow-ups and takes incoming calls. And my acquisition manager, what he does is he actually goes out there and looks at the deals, lock them up, and we go from there. So a typical day is the systems I use Podio, Ringler's voicemail, and text messages to get my deals. So that's basically what I do, a combination of that. So yeah, so that's it. That's what I do.
And what is your Ringless voicemail script like? And hey, and if you guys have any questions, anyone who's listening or watching, please put your questions in the comments. We have the Real Estate Doru Nasar with us. If you guys don't know who he is, must be really, really new, but definitely someone you should be following. Definitely you should know who he is. Down in Charlotte, North Carolina, he's with us. He will be with us in March at the Shift REI retreat. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask questions, not in our inboxes at 8 o'clock when it's over. Don't be blowing up either one of our inboxes, please, with your questions, but please ask them now. Now is the time to pick our brains, to get your questions answered, for us to look at your deals and so forth and so on. You have us until 8 p.m. tonight. So post your questions, guys. Come on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Post your questions. So basically, I use my Ringler's voicemail. The script is basically like, hey, ideally you want to use a female voice, but it's basically like, hey, this is Sarah, and I was in the area, and I just wanted to I just wanted to give you a call, see if you're open to selling your property. If not, totally apologize for bothering you. Have a good day. But if you are interested, call back the phone number. So that's how the voicemail goes. So
yeah, so I always tell people that you want to make sure that your voicemail is very casual, very laid back, not to sound too telemarkety, not to sound too like straight up and down, because then people will know you're just a sales agent and they'll just hang up. But just sound, hey, not sure if I had the right number, but I was like what you said, I was in your neighborhood and I saw your property at 123 Main Street. Are you interested in selling?
Yeah. So yeah. That's basically it. You don't want to be too pushy. You want to make it sound natural, So make it sound natural, make it sound real. And you don't want to sound like you're just reading off a script.
Exactly. So we have a question asking, how did you train your VA?
Okay, so basically I have videos on how to use my Podio, and from the videos on how to use my Podio, what I do at that point, I just give that to my virtual assistants and let them use it. So if you don't have any videos on how to use your Podio, I strongly recommend you having videos on how to use sections of your Podio or of your CRM. The CRM I use, and for those who never worked in sales, CRM is customer relationship management software, and it's basically how you manage your leads. There are multiple CRMs out there these days. Multiple. So with that being said, you definitely want to get a CRM that is that works for you. I use Podio, and I got a customizable space, so that's what I use, and that's what works for me. So I train mine from just basically have them watch videos and let them go, let them work to see if they're good enough.
When you come back, it's hard to hear you. Like you're coming away from the mic, just so you know.
All right, I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's better. And recording, which I had to figure out. If you use Screencast-O-Matic, and you're able to record your display or your monitor, whatever's on your laptop. So that is important, guys. I have mentees that have come to me, and a week later they were like, "Oh, I went and got a VA." I'm like, "Huh? For what? What? you don't even know how to do the process yourself. How you explaining to somebody else how to do your process? So it's important. Even Max, and Max is like, look, if you can't even explain how to do it, you don't need to pull on a VA at all, period. So yes, it's very important to be able to document your processes first, because that is how you are going to train those that you are trying to bring in, your employees that you are trying to bring in. So we have a Facebook user for next week, guys. You guys, going forward, please give StreamYard your permissions to your Facebook. That way we can see who you are when you make comments. So we have a Facebook user that is looking to get the water shutoff list in North Carolina. Which department should they contact to obtain a list? Do I have to purchase a list like this?
All right. So with that, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So with every list, I plugged in my microphone, so hopefully it's a little better. But with every list, you have to get it per county. The water shutoff list, people talk about it. I don't go after that yet, so I don't know how to get it. And
yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't go after
Google
that.
it.
So, yeah,
Google it.
Because some people, like I know a list provider at flipthisrealestatelyst.com. In some cities he provides that list, and some cities he doesn't have it.
What was that?
If you go to flipthisrealestatelyst.com, sometimes he has that list, and sometimes he doesn't. He can't get the list.
Okay, we can hear you without you going into the mic, just so you know.
Okay, my bad. I just want to make sure.
So I can't get our VA to get our system down pat, and we don't even have to ask Nasar about that. I can take that one. That's because of you. The training is all up to you. Basically, your staff is a reflection of who you are. And if they're not getting your system, it's because you are not training them thoroughly on your system. And if they have a remedial problem, then again, that's your fault for hiring somebody remedial. Go ahead. You can be the good guy tonight. I'll be the bad cop. You can be the good guy. Go ahead.
Sometimes your VA just might not be the right VA. You have to move on. So, yeah, with that being said, you might have to move on. Maybe, it could be you. Maybe it's not you.
Right. Hire slow, fire fast, I think is the saying. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely look at your own processes first, especially if you're going through VAs. Again, you have to be able to document all of your processes throughout the day. And once you're able to do that, you're able to duplicate yourself. So if you with a budget of $500 or less, where do you feel is the best place to start as far as finding leads?
Driving for dollars.
And what is driving for dollars?
Driving for dollars is getting in your car, looking for beat up houses toe up from the flow up, roofs need a new roof, grass too tall, mailboxes full, broken down cars in the front yard. You write down those addresses and you mail them some type of piece. So I think driving for dollars would be the best.
And do you have deal finders that work for you that drive for dollars for you every day?
I have the Deal Machine app, yes. And okay. I don't have drivers out for them, but that if I did, I mean, it's a good way to scale your business and such.
And where's the best place to locate freelance VAs?
Can I? If you give me a second, I can pull up the site.
Well, the sites that I know of are freelancer.com and Upwork. So Upwork, I believe, is the Philippines. Freelancer.com is India. Or you can post on Craigslist, and you can post in Facebook Marketplace as well if you want to hire within the States.
Okay, the site that I use is called REVA Global. So REVAglobal.com. REVAglobal.com. So if you go to REVAglobal.com, oh, Cory, she typed it in. So you go there, you can mention Nasar, and like, hey, Nasser sent me here, whatever the case may be. And with that being said, that's where I get mine. They're real estate trained. So with their being the benefit of them being real estate trained, yeah, you can go on Upwork and get cheaper price by doing it yourself. But when they're real estate trained, what you're gonna find is they have an understanding of what we do, which is basically we make low offers. We're not paying retail. So you want somebody who has an understanding of the business that we're looking for discount deals, which they have that part. And this particular services, they train them on Podio, so these people know how to get around Podio. But I believe it's like $9.50 or $9 something an hour. And if you want part time, the minimum you could do is like 20 hours.
So you want to budget about $200 a week, $200 to $400 a week for a virtual assistant.
That is correct.
Okay. Hey friends, I have a bandit sign question that I would be grateful to get feedback on. Since so many wholesalers are using bandit signs, why does it seem that nearly all of them put out less than 500 signs a month? Why don't they expand their target geographic area and bump their numbers up to 1,000 or 1,500 or more signs a month?
Okay, so I can't tell you why somebody else doesn't do anything. I mean, that's their reasoning. I remember when I used to use bandit signs, I used to do 100 a month, and that would bring me one deal. I stopped doing that years ago because the city was basically, they would threaten me all the time, and I'm like, man, I don't want to keep playing with fire. So in Charlotte, if you got 10 or more signs, the fine is $1,000 or more. So I didn't want to be one of those people to get that fine. So with that being said, I decided I stopped using them. So I really don't talk too much about bandit signs because you can make good money from them, but there's that risk of getting caught. If you're gonna do bandit signs, hey, just put a virtual number there. When I say a virtual number, like a Google Voice number, car rail number, a number you can find on the internet that can't be traced back to you, and just go about that way. Now, some people, some teams do things. They'll call you up and say, "Hey, I got the deal with the century over here. Meet me here at 3:00." And they all get people that got a bunch of tickets for that. So just be careful.
What I say as far as bandit signs are, you basically have to find the marketing niche that's going to work for you in your market. So there are tons of ways for you to market. Bandit signs is just one way to market. But whatever you're going to do, be consistent with it. So if you are going to put bandit signs out, make sure you're doing that each and every week, the same time, same place, blah, blah, blah. So, and like Nasa said, yes, you definitely want a different number because cops will call, tell you to come out and arrest you or fine you or whatever. So basically, you have to find out what works for you and what works for your market as far as your marketing is concerned and as far as your budget is concerned. That is so, so, so important. So tell us about anything that you have coming up that we can support. How do we find you? Give us your social media tags.
Okay, well, right now for the rest of the year, don't have anything coming up. You can find me at youtube.com/real estate Doru, youtube.com/real estate Doru, and on IG, Instagram is real estate Doru. That Doru is Doru, Doru. So real estate Doru, one word, on YouTube or Instagram.
Okay. Now I know that you said that you're using Ringler's voicemail and text message blast. That is something that I've just started using myself, and I love it. I coach my mentees in using it as too. And I had one who just started his campaign yesterday, and he did maybe like 150 texts, and he called me last night excited because he has his first appointment. Somebody called him back. And it was actually a realtor who has properties that he's trying to get rid of wholesale. And one of the things he said, he was like, oh my God, I'm glad you called me back. He said, because people have been reaching out to me about my homes and I've been telling them to call me, but they never follow up and they never call me. And he was like, you are the first investor that's called me. And he was like, I have several properties. I'm a landlord and I have several properties. So I'm like, all right, so it's a good little deal for you. So talk about the power of texting, the text blast, especially in 2019. We watch YouTube University, and everybody's telling you to make cold call, get your dialers and everything, blah, 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 which does work. Cold calling does work. However, for those, like most of my mentees, they're working, 40 hours a week. So I tell them, send your text blast out like an hour before you go to lunch and an hour before you go home. So when you're settled, you can make your calls, call your people back or whatever. So just talk about that, the power of text messaging. What is it that you're saying? What type of results you're seeing with that?
Okay, so with anything, you want to get in while it's new. So, for example, like with cold calling in some major cities, they burnt cold calling down to the ground. In some major cities, does cold calling still work? Absolutely, it still works, but they just burnt it down to the ground. Whereas if you're in Charlotte and you cold call somebody, they might say, "Hey, look, you're the 8th person to call me about this property. I'm. What do you have to say? What do you want? You know what I'm saying?" So, with that being said, you want to get in before it is burnt down. So I say that to say this. Right now, text messages is the way to go. So, with people that you can't get on the phone, they will text you. No human interaction. And you got some people, like once you talk to them via text message, that you never talk to them. Like everything is during text. You not at the property, but some people just like the text. And what I'm realizing, Corey, is that you gotta hit people the way that you think is gonna work. So with some people, single voicemail gonna work. Some people they're gonna respond text messaging. And some people might just respond mail. Some people might respond cold calling. So you want to hit them 2 ways. But with the text messaging, the service I use, you just send out, a couple, whatever the case may be, and you just respond to them as they come in. Like anything, some people are gonna curse you out. You just move on and go to the next one. Even when I did mail, and when I was doing mail, I was doing, spending about $15,000 a month in just mail. Then when I was doing mail, you got people that go out their way to call you back just to curse you out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I had that. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
I got your postcard. Don't fucking call my house again. Like, dude. And then hang up. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what house is yours. Like, duh, idiot.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So, but as far as the text messaging process, I think that's a great way to get people right now. When you skip trace somebody, they don't pick up the phone, text them. Hey, this is Joey White. I'm an investor in town. I just want to see when you open selling, XXX, and see what you can go from there.
Exactly. So we want to just take time to thank you for being with us tonight for our live training. I hope that you come back again before the retreat in March, just to talk to us and tell us how you're doing and, how your business is going. Are you single?
Yeah, I'm single like a single right now.
All right, ladies, he's single. Okay. Business is grossing 1.3. Come on.
So yeah, yeah, I'm feeling like a dollar bill. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, me too. So if you like them older, come on, I'm shooting my shot. No, but that is something we do want to talk about at the retreat. We are going to have we're going to have what I'm calling a happy hour, because we'll be in some luxury cabins, and the cabins will be stocked with food and alcohol. So for those, some people don't drink, which is fine. You don't have to drink. You can get a nice hot tea or hot coffee or whatever. We are going to have a happy hour time from 3:30 to 5 on both Friday and Saturday. And one thing I do want to talk about is being single in this business, as a male, as a female. And I also want to talk, have someone who's married and people that are doing it as couples, talk to the couples as well. So be prepared for that, because I know there's its own, temptation, just being single and staying focused and really just dating people that get it, and get what you're doing, and, and getting the hustle. For me, that, especially being a woman and then being a woman leader, that's some of the challenges I face. I know with you being a guy and, being who you are, I'm sure that you have your own set of groupies and you have to be able to filter through all of that. So, that is something that we want to talk about, because that comes with its own challenges. And I don't think anybody's having that conversation, not that I know of anyway. Have you had that conversation yet?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. Basically, that's great information that you're going over that. When I join like high dollar masterminds, they talk about that. They talk about more marriage and family, to how to balance that. But yeah, that's great that you're going after, because that's relevant information. That's actually relevant information. I mean, me. I mean, people just have to picking the right partner is important. This is coming from a single guy. It's just extremely important, because I've seen many times how it can go wrong, and I've seen in cases where it can go right. So you have to pick the right partner. That's some important topic that we need to talk about. I'm 36 now, so me being 36. Well, even in my 20s, I always say I want a prenuptial agreement, but now at 36, that's a non-negotiable, and I hope if I'm dealing with somebody in my age bracket, I'm hoping that they better be coming to the table with some assets, 401k, a house, some assets. Like, what have you been doing, last 10 years? You know what I'm saying? So, just gotta, I learned, and I always follow this advice, man, just, deal with people with something to lose. You don't want to be the only one with something to lose if you guys are just dating. That can go totally wrong. And just you dating an entrepreneur doesn't make it right, because all entrepreneurs are created different. Yeah, you might get off your butt and go out and make things happen, but you have entrepreneurs who just sit there and wait for whatever comes to them, and that's all they get. If it doesn't come to them, they don't get it. So I know a young lady, she told her story on my social media, and she said she thought that was the way because he was an entrepreneur. And he was not a go-getter. He was just an entrepreneur. Like, so when they got divorced, he had no problem taking half of what he didn't build. He had no problem taking half. So yeah, I mean, you want to be careful. So that's definitely a conversation that needs to be had.
Yes, and prenups are. I've been married, and when I was married, I was broke, and it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, ever going through that process, how ugly it can get. This person you love so much, you swapping bodily fluids with, will keep it clean. You know what I mean? And then, a couple years later, you hate that person. They can get so ugly. So yes, prenups are so important. It's so important to come to the table with something, whether you are a male or female, because I know that, we're in a time where women, want to be taken care of, and like, you have to be able to protect you. I have daughters. So, you have to be able to protect yourself at the end of the day. You have to be able to have something to fall back on. You have to be able to have your stash and everything else. And they have to match your hustle, period. I told the Lord, if you're not going to send me somebody to build this empire with, at least make me rich, Lord. Do one or the other, Lord. Then I could, just buy me some company every now and then. You know what I mean? No, Lord, that's a whole nother broadcast. Okay.
I mean,
what'd you say?
That's very real, man. I met, because you have daughters, and I met women, because I've been, I'm out here dating and all that, dating in my 20s, dating now, and I met women who had to pay alimony. So yeah, like it's real. We all know guys, but yeah, I met women that they were the breadwinners. during the marriage when things got rocky, the husband had quit his job or whatever he got going. So now it's when you go divorce, hey, I ain't got no income. She was taking care of everything. Now you got to pay him.
Yeah,
So
you got split assets. Everything you bought within the marriage is considered community property, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just so important for you to protect yourself. Love is good, coming is good, orgasms they good, but at the end of the day, you better protect yourself because it's about leaving a legacy for your children and for your children's children. And that's something we definitely have to talk about, especially within our community, especially within the Black community. I just want to have these conversations about leaving a legacy where I still consider myself, I'm like young old, so it's important for us to talk about retirement. It's important, especially as I'm a 9-to-5 entrepreneur. This is all I do. I don't work a regular job, so I don't have health benefits and all that kind of stuff. So it's important for us to have this conversation, and I'm only saying this over and over again so I can do a YouTube or do a training on this, but we have to cover ourselves as far as our retirement is concerned and our health benefits and everything, leaving something for our children, our life insurances, and all that kind of stuff. That's not something that we really talk about in this business. You got to put money away for tax time. Tax time is coming up. Let's stop bootlegging it, y'all. Let's stop bootlegging it. And I feel like this is my little nightly rant. I feel like if you can't afford the little $100 to form your little LLC and then make sure that you protect it, maybe you should just wait a little bit. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Just wait a little bit, sit it out for a little bit, get your coin together, and then come back. And then let's do the right thing. Let's be above board. Let's be ethical. Let's stop just bootlegging it through life, robbing Peter to pay Paul through life. Let's do this thing because there's a lot of money to be made. But if you don't do it the right way, and if you don't build this foundation the right way, it can come crumbling down hard. It really, really can. Because when Uncle Sam come knocking, or God forbid something catastrophic happens and someone sues you, or someone gets hurt at one of your properties, it could be anything. Somebody could be. It could be anything. And so you just want to have yourself protected at the end of the day. So that's my nightly rant. So again, I thank you so much for being with us tonight and for accepting the invitation. I just asked you a couple days ago and you were like, sure, no problem. You're always available. I appreciate that. If you could leave one thing with the newbie, what would it be?
Do one avenue. Do one avenue and just stay with that one avenue and just don't do anything else. If you're gonna drive for dollars, drive for dollars. If you're gonna cold call. Just keep going and stay consistent at whatever you pick.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys heard that from somebody else besides me. Stay consistent with whatever you do. Thank you, Nasar, for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. So everybody else, thank you all for being here tonight. Just wanted to go through some housekeeping, and I just didn't want to do that with Nasar still on the line with us. But again, we have our retreat coming up in March 5th through 8th. Nasar, Christina Spells, Chris Moreau, Sister Shanika Lene are our speakers. I'm in the talks with a couple of other speakers, and I don't want to put their names out there, but trust me, when you hear them, you're going to be like, oh my God, I should have hurried up and registered and got my tickets. So you want to go ahead and register. It's the Shift, REI retreat.com. Is where you can go and register for your tickets. And there are payment arrangements available, payment plans available. So go ahead and do that, guys. Do not wait till the last minute. You will be disappointed. And you will be saying, I wish that I would have made it. Thank you for being here. Sean Morgan, the SMS that I use is Lead Genie right now. They also have RBM. Direct mail sender, it's all about the same. Honestly, I think it's best for you just to really handwrite and send them out yourself. But all the softwares now have some type of direct mail feature to it. PropStream does, Deal Machine does. They're all postcards. But honestly, for your money, you may just want to get your VAs or hire someone to go ahead and handwrite the letters. What type of message do you text a potential seller? Just the same thing. The same thing you're saying on the phone, direct mail, text, email. Hi, my name is Corrie Nicole. I'm a local investor. I was in your neighborhood. I'm interested in your property at 123 Main Street. Are you interested in selling? Would you like a cash offer? Send that out and wait for your yeses. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. This is my first time streaming from StreamYard, which I love it. I love the platform. And I want you guys to go in and give StreamYard your permission so we can see. It looks like Bobby, Aaron, Sean, you guys have gone in and did that. So I can see who is asking questions. Other than that, it just says Facebook user. So I would really like to see, who's on and be able to interact with you guys. If you guys have any other questions, please post them. Otherwise, yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. We are in the middle of Corey's challenge. I just remembered about that. So Corey's challenge is for the week. It started Monday and it's going to end next Monday. And for Corey's challenge, it is make 1,000 contacts, whether it's 1,000 dials, whether it's 1,000 text messages, emails, door knocks, direct mail, or you can mix it up. However, you get your 1,000 contacts out this week. You have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is under Corrie Nicole, and you have to invite at least 5 people to the group Wholesaling Houses for Newbies. So everyone who participates in the challenge and you do those 3 things, you will get 200 free leads from me. The person that gets at least 3 appointments out of this activity first will get 200 free skip trace leads from me. So that's Corey's challenge. It's for the week. I hope you guys are able to participate in the challenge. I'm reading the comments. How do we get permission to StreamYard? I will post it again, how to do it. I think when I scheduled a live and it posted in the group, at that point you have to click on it and do it. But we'll go ahead and do it. In the meantime, guys, I hope that you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do want to build that up. That is going to be a resource for newbies and something for you guys to go back and look at and share with your friends and everything. And as always, I love you guys. I thank you for tuning in on tonight. I just want to encourage you. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. I don't care how your week has started. You still have time to dominate the rest of the week and to end the rest of the week strong, to finish strong for the rest of the week. You still have time to turn it around. It's only 8 p.m. You have another hour. Well, it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I know we have people that are on the West Coast as well. So you guys have plenty of time to do some calling or texting, emailing, whatever you need to do to reach out to people. I know we have people in Central that are an hour behind us. So basically, there's still time tonight. There's also time tonight to be up for the next few hours and schedule your content and schedule the rest of your week out. In order to see results in this business, you have to put the activity in. And I cannot stress that enough. You have to be consistent, you have to be disciplined, and you have to put the activity in. That is the only way that you are going to see results. There's not a magical script. There's not a magical technique. There's not a magical service. There's not a magical software or anything else. What it is consistency and discipline. That is how you are going to see results. So again, I'm Corrie Nicole. I thank you for tuning in with me on tonight. I appreciate you guys so much. And I look forward to talking to you guys some more throughout the week. All right. Good night.